It's day 8 of the 12 days of Christmas. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Jackie and let's get started. For DIY number 1, I'm going to begin with 6 of these Dollar Tree wooden cubes and go in with the white acrylic paint by Apple Barrel, give them a full paint coat, and then I'm going to take this slick paint from Tulip in the color brown and create a faux chocolate drip, because these are going to be little tiny s'mores and you have to have some chocolate with s'mores. So I'm just going to go around very gently, very carefully, not to get my fingers in it because these little cubes are teeny tiny. So just right here, just around the whole little perimeter, and I do them all in the same manner, being sure to be very careful because this stuff is easy to smudge. And just showing you real quick how it looks. Look how cute. So I did them all in the same manner like this, and allow these to dry completely. Here they are, nice and dry, looking adorable. Now I'm going to take an acrylic paint marker and just very gently make some little faces. Nothing too difficult, just 2 little eyes and a little mouth. And I do this to all of them. Here's my last one, looking so cute. Now I'm going to take these, set them aside. Now I'm going to go into my stash of scrap wood. If you guys follow me, you know I put all my scrap wood in here. So I have all these little pieces of craft sticks. So I'm going to go ahead and use these here. Put everything else away for another time. You know, we'll use these for sure eventually. Okay, so now I'm going to take this piece of craft stick and I'm going to snip off and trim off the little end. It's not very straight, and I'm going to cut this in half, and I think that size there would work pretty well. Trim off this rounded end, we don't need that, and I went ahead and cut the rest in the same manner. Now I'm going to paint them with this khaki color by Apple Barrel, paint them all up, and now using another paint marker, I'm just going to create some little dots on the top of these little craft sticks to kind of simulate a graham cracker. Here's my last one, making the little dots. Now in my stash, I had these little brown clouds. They said angel on them, but that's okay. They look like chocolate to me. So we're just going to use these up. We're going to start building our little s'mores, placing a craft stick on the bottom and then the little marshmallow on top. And now one of these chocolate looking clouds on the very top, and then one more of the graham crackers right here. And look, it's a little s'more. I went ahead and did the rest in the same manner. Here's my last one. I'm going to go ahead and build it. Here's my little cloud. These are like little resin pieces I got from Amazon, and they just came in a pack with a bunch of other things. So hey, I'm going to finally use them. I knew I'd finally use them eventually. Okay, here's my last little s'more. So adorable. Now I'm going to set these aside, and I do end up rounding off the little ends, and I'll show that later. Now I'm going to take one of these short wooden arrows from the Dollar Tree and remove all of this stuff here. We don't need any of the jute or of course the label. And I'm going to take my utility knife and a ruler. My utility knife has a nice sharp blade, and I'm just going to line this up and score this. I end up scoring it a good, I don't know, 2-3 times, putting a little pressure and then doing some little notches on the sides, then flipping it over and doing the same thing, just scoring it a couple of times, 2 or 3 times, I don't remember. Just putting some pressure, that way it gets real deep in there like this, and then that's good enough. Then I just pop off the top arrow part. And here's my last little piece. Now it just comes off super easy like this. Now I'm going to take my finger sander and sand off the cut end. This is looking a little rough. Gotta sand it off, make it nice and smooth. And just real quick like this. Now I'm going to take my drill and create another hole. There's one hole there where the jute twine was. I'm going to go ahead and match and put another hole on the other end. And then I'll do 2 more holes on the other side as well, like this. I'm going to utilize those holes, put everything away. Now I'm going to take this little gingerbread man. I got this from Target last year. And some apple barrel paints in these two colors. Paint these up like this. And now I'm going to take some of the puffy paint from the Dollar Tree and just create a cute little face for little Gingy. It's going to be a little girl. So I'm going to make little eyes, little nose, some little freckles, little smile. And I'm going to give her a couple little eyebrows just for the heck of it. And I do a little faux frosting around her head like this. And I'm going to also do a little bit of embellishing on her little body, some little faux icing on her arms, on her legs, just little wiggly lines like this. And then I'm going to take the red puffy paint from the Dollar Tree and give her some little cheeks, making her look cute, and then just little embellishments on her 3 buttons. And now I'll set this aside, allow this to dry. Going back to my piece of wood, I'm going to take some of this baker's twine in the red and white. This is from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue to make a makeshift needle and putting it through these holes like this. Now this one was a little bit smaller, so I'm going to utilize and use my tweezers. That helps me quite a bit. Get it through the tiny teeny holes. And I'm going to create a knot, a good double knot, to secure this baker's twine. That way it doesn't go through the hole. Snip off the excess. And then I do the same thing to this side. And then I do the same thing to the other side, creating 2 little handles like this. And now I'm ready to place my tiny little s'mores on my tray. This is going to be a little tray. I'm going to stage them how I think I want them. I'm just going to do 3 and 3. And here I was debating whether to adhere them to the little tray, so I don't. But later on I went ahead and changed my mind, and I did. Okay, so here I'm going to add a little bow to her head. All the paint's nice and dry. And at this point is where I decided to round off the edges on the graham crackers. I just took my finger sander and then just kind of went around and rounded off the harsh edges. So now here I'm taking some hot glue and adhering all of my pieces onto my little tray. Now I'm ready to give her the tray so she can hold it. And all I'm going to do is take some hot glue and add a little bit to that bottom button and place the wood tray on top. Allow the hot glue to set for a second, and placing this gum holder, it's a gum container, to help hold it up while I work on adhering these handles onto her little hands. And then I'm just going to finish it off with one of these plastic peppermints, pressing it on. And then I do the same thing to the other side, just gently placing the baker's twine in the hot glue, and then taking a peppermint and finishing it off to make it look cute. And now I can remove my container of gum. And look how cute! She's so cute. Here's how she looks, and the closer look at the final reveal. Like I mentioned earlier, this is day 8 of the 12 days of Christmas. And if you guys are just now joining us, my sweet friend Brenda from Rustic and Lace DIY invited me to help her co-host this super fun open playlist with 12 days of Christmas crafts. And each day will have a new theme, and each day will have a new playlist with all the participants and their wonderful crafts. So make sure to head on over to my description box when you're done watching this video. Click the link to the playlist and enjoy it. You'll get lots of inspiration and fun ideas for Christmas. I have confidence that you will, because these women are fantastic. And if you happen to have a YouTube channel and would like to participate, here are the remaining days and the guidelines on participating. For DIY number 2, I'm going to begin with one of these foam dice from the Dollar Tree. I had one left in my stash, and I went ahead and painted with the white from Apple Barrel. And I'm going to take the tulip slick paint again to create some more faux chocolate drips. So here it is. Now I'm going to set this aside, allow this to dry completely. In the meantime, I'm going to take one of these DIY wooden gingerbread kits. This one's from Dollar General. And I'm just going to take my Apple Barrel paint and give it a full couple coats. But you can still see the lines inside. So I'm going to utilize that and use the puffy paints from the Dollar Tree to color in the little lines. I thought this design was adorable, so I'm going to go ahead and follow through the way it's supposed to look. So I'm going to start off with just some of the white puffy paint, doing an outline and then filling everything in. Now once I'm done with this part here, then I'll go ahead and continue. And I'll go ahead and fill in where the eyes are and then the little mouth. So here's just a little mouth and then the eyes. You can still kind of see it. So I'm just going to fill those in. And then the little swiggly lines on the arms and the legs. But I'm going to go ahead and double them all up and fill them in just for more of an accent. So just like this, just kind of trace and then fill in. Here's the other side. Look how adorable. Now I'm going to take the red, and I can barely see the bow tie, but I can still see it. So I'll do the bow tie, and then I'll also do the little cheeks. Well, the little cheeks first. And then the little bow tie, like this. It was just super simple, just to trace it and fill it in. So now I'm happy with it. Now I'm going to do the hat, and I'm just going to do the first part here. I won't do the very top. The very top I'm going to add a peppermint a little bit later as an accent piece. But here I'm just going to fill this in real quick. And then I decided to give him a little nose. So I'm going to get the white again and just make a quick little nose. And then touch up a couple little areas where it needed a little bit more paint. Now allow this to dry, and here he is ready to go. And my marshmallow, I decided to add some of the melted chocolate paint by Apple Barrel. Now I'm going to take my paint acrylic marker and create a cute little face, just some little lines, and I'm going to do little eyelashes on this one. This one's going to be a little girl. And then instead of crackers, I decided to do cookies. So I'm going to use these wood rounds from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to paint them in the territorial beige paint by Apple Barrel. And then this rickrack that I got from Walmart. It's in a red, a little bit of a glittery red, but the glitter's not too bad. So I kind of like it. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere it with some hot glue. And then just place it around the edge of this wood round. And go around the whole side. All the way around. Like this. Just tapping it. And adding some glue, placing it down, and then keep tapping it. Here's the last little section. Just go around with my detail hot glue gun and holding it. And now snipping off the excess. And now they're ready to go. These are my cookies. This is going to be a special s'more. It's going to be a gourmet one. Okay, so I'm going to place my cookie down and add some hot glue to my marshmallow. Place her on top. Right here. Take my other cookie and putting some hot glue on top of her head and placing the cookie down like this. Now I'm taking my little Gingy because he's the one building this cookie, this s'more. So I'm going to place him on top because, like I said, he's building it. So now here I decided to take some of this red Dollar Tree ribbon to create a bow. So I'm just going to show you real quick how I made the bow. It's just a super simple shoelace type of bow. And at the time, I thought it was a great idea to place it there on the very front because, like I mentioned, my s'more is a little girl. And I thought I was going to like it, but it was a little bit too oversized and I couldn't really see her face very well. So, spoiler alert, I removed it. But I'll still show you how I made the bow. I didn't cut it out. So here's my cute little bow. This ribbon worked out really well. add some hot glue, and I placed it right here. And I thought, oh, that's so cute. I was really liking it. So then I just continued, and I decided to add some of these florals. I just a few little pieces of florals. Now here are my embellishments. Here is where I add my peppermint on the top of his head, on his hat. Sorry, I got to frame a little bit, but I'm just placing that peppermint there. And now I have these teeny tiny little peppermints. And here's where I'm starting to decide that that bow was a little bit too large, because I was placing little peppermints for her cheeks, for little s'mores cheek. And so here's the other one. And then I decided to use some of these little puffs that I made in my other video, where I just took some leftover spackle, piped it on a parchment paper, allowed it to dry, and then here are my little puffs. And then I just took my time to do more embellishing, and here's how they look, and a closer look at the final reveal. For DIY number 3, I'm going to take this little box from the Dollar Tree. It's made out of wood for $1.25, great deal. And I'm going to take 2 more of these short wooden arrows from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to remove the tops like I did in DIY number 1. Now I'm going to go in with all these paints, the khaki, the melted chocolate, and the white. Paint them in the s'mores colors. So the box is going to be the marshmallow with the chocolate, and then the 2 pieces of wood are going to be the graham cracker crusts. So now I'm going to take some more of this tulip slick paint and the color brown, and then create some drips on the marshmallow piece. And I'm just going to take my time, go around like I've been doing throughout this video, just trying to make it look decadent and thick and sloppy. Hey, melted chocolate is not clean. It's got to be sloppy. You know it's good. Okay, so now here it is nice and dry. Now I'm going to go ahead and place my little box together. Here are my hardware pieces, and I'm just going to assemble this the way it was. I'm going to use one of the Dollar Tree screwdrivers. This one's got the magnetic tips, and just put my little screws back in. Here's my last one, and my little box is adorable. Look at that. So now I'm going to go ahead and create the graham cracker crust little dots like I did in DIY number 1, using the same acrylic paint marker. Just trying to make these dots a little bit bigger, a little bit more profound, like this, more bold. And now, I know what you're thinking, I'm covering up the dots, but that's okay. I know they're there. So now I'm going to take some of this wood glue by Super Glue, and I'm just going to go very generously on the bottom of my marshmallow box and placing it on top of my graham cracker. And then taking the top one, doing the same, placing it right on top like here, and centering everything nice and even. Look at that, super cute. Here's how it looks, and a closer look at the final reveal. If you're on Instagram, here's my QR code. I invite you to scan it and come follow me on there. I post on there Monday through Fridays, as well as TikTok. Here's my QR code for there. Here is my QR code for Facebook, also Monday through Fridays, as well as my Pinterest. Here's my QR code for there. And here's my Lemonade account as well. And my Threads account. This is my handle, also Monday through Fridays. Here's my Hometalk QR code. I invite you to come scan it. Post on there twice a month. I do have a Facebook crafting group. I invite you to come join us there. And now we're at the final reveal. Let me know what you think, and which one is your favorite one? Well, I'll take a moment and say thank you for taking time out of your busy day to watch yet another one of my videos. I'm having fun with this collaboration. I really am. These are so fun to make. And don't forget, when you're done watching my video, head on over to my description box, click the link to the playlist, and enjoy it. It's going to be so wonderful and so much fun. I can't wait to see everybody's creativity. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it, and it definitely helps my channel to grow. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. And if you want to see more, definitely subscribe. We got a couple more days to go till we're done with this collaboration. So yeah, stay tuned. To my next video, stay healthy, safe, and strong, and have a great day. Bye-bye.